A lovely good evening. It's a Tuesday, and we are back with Let's Talk Politics right here on Ubuntu channel. And today, since yesterday, there has been an item that has been buzzing all over social media, and we just want to delve into it and get your views so that you can have your say over the same issue. We are looking at Zambia's minerals and the seized $5.6 million and the 127 kgs of gold that was seized from a private aircraft from KK International Airport. Now, viewers, I would like you to know that this is an open discussion, and we invite you to make your submissions, to interact with the guests and the people that we have on the panel. Let me also inform you that we do make attempts to invite people from different political parties so that they could have their voice right on this platform. So we do not segregate. It is open to each and everyone. Please feel free to join us and have your say. Straight into the program. Part of the guests that we have Mr. Mukelabai. We also have Wiseman Don, and also we do have Himba Malambo joining us right on the set. Great. A bit of a technical challenge on my end. So right about now, let me just take the honor of just welcoming our guests. I'll start with Himba. Himba, good evening. Welcome to Ubuntu channel.
Good evening, CJ, and good evening, viewers. It's nice to be with you this evening. Nikumbwa drama zijazenaona ku airport CJ sibanga nipaseko ka bunch kamozi.
Yeah, kufunika ma connection kuja kuntu. Mukelabai. Good evening. Welcome to Ubuntu channel.
Good evening, CJ. Good evening, Himba and Wiseman. Good evening, viewers. We are watching, we are listening, we are following.
Pleasure to have you, Mukelabai. And Wiseman, welcome to Ubuntu channel. Good evening.
Good evening, comrade CJ. Good evening, Himba. Good evening, Mukelabai. Good evening, our viewers and our listeners.
Thank you very much, Wiseman. Viewers, like I said, this is an open discussion, and what we do is that we extend invitations to the different political parties, and it is open to everyone. It is open to anyone. What we are encouraging here is a mature, civilized conversation regarding the political issues and various issues that are affecting our nation. Tonight, we are looking at Zambia's minerals. We've had a number of scandals around minerals. The current controversial one, or that is making headlines, is the gold one. And before that, we're hearing about sugilite and different minerals that are being mined illegally. So just to set a background to this, we're going to have a clip from Parliament, where the Minister of Mines was giving a ministerial statement regarding the sugilite, and we're going to pick it up from there. Director, please give us that clip.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Order, honorable members, we want to listen to the ministerial statement in silence.
I would like to thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to address the House and the nation at large on the alleged illegal mining of sugilite in Chembe district of Luapula province. The ministerial statement, Madam Speaker, is being delivered arising from your directive, Madam Speaker, following Honorable Munya Zulu, Member of Parliament for Lumezi, and Honorable Ronald Chitotela, Member of Parliament for Pambashe, respectively, who rose on a matter of urgent public importance directed at the Minister of Mines and Minerals Development. Allow me, Madam Speaker, in the first place to inform the House that sugilite is typically a gem type of manganese which occurs and is associated with manganese deposits. It has a very attractive purple-violet color due to the presence of manganese and is popularly used in jewelry. I therefore wish to confirm to the House that the Ministry is aware of the illegal mining of sugilite in Chembe district of Luapula province. In October 2020, following an application for a large-scale exploration licensed by Bayan Construction Limited for iron ore and manganese in Chembe district of Luapula province, the Ministry, through the Mining Cadastre Department, granted an exploration license number 27282 HQLEL over an area of 20,000 hectares of land. The license was granted for a period of 4 years, effective 20th October 2020 up to 19th October 2024. During the period of exploration for iron ore and manganese, the company has obtained a decision letter for the environmental project brief from the Zambian Environmental Management Agency, ZEMA, and submitted an environmental impact statement for the proposed development of a large-scale manganese mine in line with conditions stipulated under the license. Following revelations, Madam Speaker, of the presence of illegal mining of sugilite within the licensed area for Bayan Construction Limited, which I alluded to earlier, the Ministry, through the Geological Survey Department, conducted a verification inspection from 10th to 15th February 2022 to ascertain the occurrence of sugilite. The findings revealed that during the exploration by Bayan Construction, there were illegal mining activities of manganese by the surrounding communities, which exposed sugilite mineralization. To prevent the illegal exploitation of the mineral, the Ministry and Bayan Construction, through the Luapula Provincial Administration, facilitated the deployment of Zambia Police Service to provide security to the mine. I wish to inform the House that following the spate of illegal mining activities within the exploration license area for Bayan Construction, the company commenced court action against the illegal mining activities. The company has been granted restraining order to prevent illegal mining activities within its license area. Madam Speaker, allow me to reiterate that the Ministry of Mines and Minerals Development has confirmed the presence of sugilite within the license area of Bayan Construction Limited in Chembe district. Madam Speaker, various reforms are being undertaken to ensure that the mining sector is revitalized through the ongoing implementation of the new National Mineral Resources Development Policy, which was launched last year to fast-track increased productivity for the mining sector in respect of minerals such as copper and other strategic minerals such as nickel, cobalt, lithium, and manganese. Further, my ministry is undertaking institutional reforms which will result in the creation of the Minerals Regulatory Commission to properly regulate the exploration of mineral resources. Madam Speaker, the ministry is also in the process of refining the legal framework, such as the Mines and Minerals Development Act No. 11 of 2015, that govern the mining sector, to ensure that the environment is conducive for both foreign and local investments. Local investments have been prioritized as they are critical in the sector to enhance the participation of Zambians in the minerals value chain. As I conclude, Madam Speaker, I wish to assure this august House and the people of Zambia at large that government under the leadership of His Excellency the President of the Republic of Zambia and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, is committed to ensure that minerals are developed and managed for the benefit of the people of Zambia. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
They are trained officers to save life and protect property. Police officers ensure law and order prevails in the nation. But the arrest of 6 police officers, including Northern Province Commanding Officer Gloria Mulele, for allegedly mining sugilite illegally, has saddened the public. And now, Inspector General of Police Raphael Musamba has taken administrative action against the officers.
Police officers who have been also involved or associated with the same case have been charged with a crime. In the process, a tribunal also will be held against them, that is administratively, so that their interdiction is justified. If they're found guilty, in the case of a tribunal, we have the discretion to get rid of them by disengaging them from the service, because under the circumstances that have prevailed, they are not fit to discharge duties for members of the public.
Mr. Musamba has further announced the police command will carry out an audit and flush out officers breaching police ethics.
The job of a police officer is to stay a role model, because you can't be a law enforcer and then at the same time be a criminal. So those two don't get along. We are in the process of purging all bad eggs from the police system. It may not succeed right now, but we know our objective, and we are not going to quit, but it's up to the officers themselves to make a choice, to live for their families, to live for the nation, or to live even for their children.
The 6 police officers are part of 19 people who were recently arrested for illegally mining sugilite in Chembe district of Luapula province and transporting it to Kapirimposhi district.
Great. So there we have the background to what we are looking at tonight. Zambia is so rich with minerals, gold, copper, manganese, sugilite, emeralds, name it. And there are these reports and complaints about illegal mining, and hey, and some people really get emotional when we look at the kind of resources that we have. Just to get the ball rolling, I'll start with you, Himba. What is your take on these scandals or issues over illegal mining activities in Zambia? What do you make of it?
Thank you so much, CJ, and good evening, viewers, once more. First and foremost, I really don't understand why the government is not making it easier for the Zambian people to access mining licenses. If we are having a lot of illegal mining, why can't they come up with a deliberately policy that will allow a lot of Zambians to have the license, so that whatever act they do there becomes legal? Basically, because a lot of people, they want to go into mining. So if there's a challenge for especially the indigenous to get the license, why can't it be made easier? I mean, whatever challenge is there, why can't it be worked out? Because there are a lot of people wants to go into mining. And if they give license to a lot of them so that they start mining legally, which means even the theft of mining, even to protect people's lives there, will be easier because they'll be able to monitor. They'll know companies which are operating on that particular site, and they'll be able to know how workers are also being looked after. Because of this same illegal mining, we've lost a lot of lives. But I think the government should come in full swing. Whatever they're putting in place, I think for me they're taking long. It's high time they have to, whatever they're putting in place, to be a bit on the fast lane so that it can save the Zambian people. And it can also allow a lot of people to mine. Then secondly, tulefo okutasha bakateka through the Inspector General of Police for disciplining those police officers. Now we don't even know if we should call them police officers or mine workers, because ingakapokola zapezika bwanji kumaini foot. So ni wa mine worker or ni wakapokola. However, we appreciate our leaders, and that sanity is being promised in the country, and they are working towards to put things straight. But mupolisi awe mupolisi mulivochitika. In the police service, there's a lot of things that are happening, and bravo to the Inspector General of Police, who is assuring the nation that things are going to be done well and things are going to be corrected and they are going to bring sanity. However, there's a word he used, Yani Guirako, with the police officers, they are role models. Kulibena ngwe tumaona mo baba SG nwe amasobesa na mfutu ja role model dangerous. Anyway, we come to the political leaders. The political leaders, we want you to be clean. And we thank God to the New Dawn government that and they didn't care which position they occupy in the political party. They were able to be disciplined. Our leaders, we don't usher you into office that miende mube drama zaziko, you go and start benefiting yourselves to the national resources. No. We are there. You are there to take care of our national resources. We trust you to look after our natural resources, and we trust you that you ensure that these natural resources, they are done they're acquired in a right way, and every Zambian should have access or benefit from these natural resources. We don't pay you tamili pirani then mwabulafuti mwamboti bela. That's not why we pay you politicians. We expect you to be there to protect. And again, we will not hesitate to decampaign you, whether you're in the New Dawn government, whether we will not. We would decampaign you, and we'll make sure that you are gone. And come 2026, you will not get a vote from us. We don't vote for you to steal from us. Thank you,
Himba. Hold your fire. Let me bring in Mukelabai. Mukelabai, what do you make of these mineral scandals and the illegal mining that we hear from time to time?
Thank you so much, CJ. Well, we are, as a country, we are in trouble. And when you see people resorting to mining without proper documentation, then just know that there's something here. There's something wrong. There's something wrong with leadership, because we have the authorities in place for a reason. Why do we have to see illegal activities taking place when we have superintendents that are supposed to protect and superintend over these mining activities? What punishment do you give to peace individuals that are found doing these illegal activities? If you look at our laws, probably the laws are quite weak, and that is why you find that even the lawmakers themselves, they venture into the same illegal minings. Even those in authorities, everyone who is in government or who is a civil servant wants to venture into illegal minings because they have seen there's a loophole, that there is no proper law that will deter an individual from mining for as long as they have the capacity. And to make the matters worse, they are in authority, they are in control. Therefore, I cannot blame the people that are taking advantage to start mining so that they could have money and put food on the table of their children. I blame the authorities, those that came up with the law, the rules, that whatever activities is taking place there without papers, it's illegal. But the question is, what is it that they have done to make it illegal or to make it legal? What is it that they are doing? So most of these illegal activities taking place, this has been going on for a long time, especially from previous regimes, previous governments. This has been on. People have been making money to use the very money they realize from illegal minings to come and inject that money into these political campaigns, to inject this money into all these other activities that they are doing. You find that money is coming from such kind of illegal activities. So my prayer or my humble request is to the parliamentarian, the legislatures, that do not just sit there in parliament and politicize issues. This is why you are there in parliament. Talk about the laws, enact laws that will hinder, that will restrict people from mining illegally, so that we can preserve those mines and the stones, the precious stones and the other minerals to the nation, so that the country as a whole may benefit. But right now, the laws are there, but they are quite so weak. It's just by word of mouth. Until when someone in a political sphere gets involved and is caught up, and that's when you hear now there's a little bit of backlash, or there's a little bit of pushing from the government. People are arrested. Now they are planning to discipline. No, those people, to me, in my opinion, they are trying to survive because of the economy was biting. The economy is biting. People are trying to find ways to live. And if they find a loophole and they see that there's nothing, even if you are caught, it's not something that you can go to jail for years. You may just be sentenced to 6 months and then you're out. People would do it. But it's the parliamentarian that needs to enact stiff laws to criminalize. We know that it is already a criminal offense to mine illegal, but we don't see that political will. We don't see this the enforcement aspect.
In summary, Mukelabai, I want to also bring in Wiseman.
So, in summary, I would simply say that these illegal minings, they are going to affect us as a nation, and there are a lot of activities that might endanger the livelihood of people engaged in mine activities as well, because they don't take care of all these other security measures, safety measures.
Yes.
So when with that is on the mining aspect. I just wanted to comment just a little on by police.
Mm.
Yes, rushing in disciplining people without having given an opportunity to be heard, that will cause a lot of issues again. So allow the justice system to prevail, to let those officers that are involved, purported to be involved in those criminal activities, let them go through the normal channels, let them go through the courts. If they are found with no cases, allow them to go back at work and work. You can simply maybe suspend them without pay, or suspend them until firing people in this economical hardship is not solution. You are actually creating and killing your own citizens.
But when they
Yes.
are
Thank you.
still, when they are not faithful to the government, you keep them because they are killing your own people. Because those were found on the tracks from Mukelabai. They were
Yes.
on
Yes.
the tracks as well. Were
Yes.
they mining?
But there's a story to every situation. If they are found wanting, if they are found guilty, then the police can take an action.
There's
But
always a story which can be true or false. But if it is
Okay.
a lie,
Thank you,
certain
Himba.
individuals, certain
Thank you.
individuals
Thank you,
were
Mukelabai.
used. Certain individuals were used. Sorry, they were used. They were following probably instructions
Following
from their
instructions.
superiors.
that can
So
never
anyway,
be used as
So,
defense in the court of law.
it's debatable. It's debatable.
It
But
can,
otherwise,
it can
okay.
never be
uh,
used as defense in the court of law, Mukelabai.
Himba, hold your fire. Himba,
I end there.
Thank you very much, Mukelabai. Thank you, Himba. Wiseman, I want your input on this. What do you make of these scandals concerning our minerals and illegal mining?
Thank you very much, CJ, and thank you very much for the two panelists who has articulated these issues very well. I think, CJ, for me, this issue is telling you something. It's very clear and straightforward. There are some people who are sleeping, who are not working, and they are sleeping in those offices, enjoying aircon and drinking tea every time and having snacks. That's why you are seeing this illegality going on. The president is working alone. I can assure you of that. Let's imagine when these mining activities were closed, when they are trying to put things in place, and according to them, with the minister's words, they are trying to put things in place and make things properly for the mining industry to be thriving in a normal way. They have taken 2 years, comrade. The mining minister has taken 2 years. A Minister of Agriculture has taken 2 years. Minister of Local Government has taken 2 years. I can count them, countless number, for them to make their system to be in a normal way. Let's imagine they.
Well, okay, we seem to have lost Wiseman there. Okay, so now, these mineral issues are really agitating and bringing a lot of speculation. Okay, speculation over who is involved, and like Wiseman said, people are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Okay, we have Wiseman. Wiseman, are you able just to give us a summary of what you are saying, since you had been cut off there?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think network is failing me. So, CJ, let us not be scratching some people's back. Let's assume these few ministers I've mentioned, we have told them are not going to be getting paid for 2 years until we make the system okay. How are they going to survive? It's like you have got an wound, now kwate chironda, instead muchisu lero chirepola mwakakapo bandit chire
They
kiramukati.
can defect
Everything is
within a
happening
month.
inside.
They can defect.
They, So what do you expect of that wound to get healed? It's not. As a result, it's going to be making your body feel like you have got malaria, fever, and everything because you have not opened
Septic.
up that wound. You have tied instead of it breathe. That's what these ministers are doing. As a result, the president is working alone. So let these ministers put themselves in our shoes. Those police officers, CJ, they are innocent. I can tell without even them going to court. Us who are struggling, who are suffering, more especially UPND members, we are the one who are using police officers for them to give us some favors of at least having one thing for us to make it go through. So that we can survive. Guys, they have blocked all the rocks. I can assure you, even those gold and whatever things we have found at the airport applies if you find that there are some members who are involved. Why? Because these people.
Yes, Wiseman. Okay. Is it just me? Okay, Wiseman has dropped off again. All right. So now, these mining issues. We saw the minister for Luapula, okay, getting in trouble over the Sujilite issue. We've seen officers getting in trouble over Sujilite. There has been a number of allegations where people are saying the Sujilite went missing from police custody and all that. Now, do we have a problem with our systems or what? What do you make of all this confusion, the back and forth concerning our minerals? Are we incapable of properly putting in place so that these minerals can be mined legally and our nation can start benefiting from them? I'll start from you, Himba.
CJ, thank you very much. Our system, yalikuwa tefupunda. They can't hold any water. Our systems, we have systems, but our systems are corrupt. Our systems, CJ, the same systems we have is the same system. It has been, our system has allowed corruption to be normal or to be part of the system as well. It's not only in the mining industry, it's everywhere where our systems, we just see like, okay, corruption, it's part of our living. We don't even feel ashamed to do it everywhere. Let it be at provincial level, district, let it be at local, anywhere. Manje chimafika nakuti olo kutunda mtoilet like pa market you want to corrupt uja pali one kwacha pamene paja tinaona last time when the PS went tevanalemba kudala ma receipts ina madate vanaika kudala. Somebody even said so we have to use the toilet kusebenzeratu, that kind of thing. Somebody passed a comment, but basically what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say our systems are rotten. Our systems needs to be worked on. There's seriously clean up that needs. Our mindset, we've taken like corruption is normal, and we don't even feel whether the person who is giving or who is asking for a gift, TV on a chair normal, So in the mining industry, where they are chilamo, where is the problem? Why is it that the mine sector ndiyo kulima problems? Where is the problem? If I was the Minister of Mines by now, I would have gone back to the drawing board. Comrades, where are we not doing right? Where are things going wrong? Because, or it's either these things, CJ, they've been happening, and kuli bebenzo bagwira. Manje babagwira. Or now there's transparent people are being caught, or it has been happening. So we don't know, but our systems are corrupt. Wherever you're going to go, whether we end up in NRC, the system is corrupt. Pamene paja pakiwa zakuba zambo miza imwe plani huku pamene paja tumadeal pambo chitika, that kind of thing. So basically our ministers, they need to pull up their swords They need to clean up the system. And as the Zambian people, we need to have a time where we have to do a reality check. What kind of Zambia do you want to have tomorrow? Or what kind of Zambia do you want to live in tomorrow? It's us to make Zambia to be better. It's us to help the systems to be clean. Timavomera cholo bakugwira bakugwira ni munjira zakamuteni bosi nichena kazai na wewe bosi ikapansi kainge paja bakusebenzera ka psychology ikapansi so that even if you go and report that I corrupt there's a corrupt act azakuza tunapasa ndani drama una ikapansi can you no point but it's everywhere. All we are saying, can we change the way we are living? Kumaini kuli problem. We are losing lives. But passing my license man too, so that the government can monitor and get revenue as well through tax. Because my illegal chanye achitika, so batenga kona tax. Do they? They don't. So passing a certificate one, so that the government can start collecting the tax. They empower the Zambian people, and then we will move at the same pace as a country, and everyone will be able to benefit from the mining sector.
Thank you, Himba. Let me just cut you here. I want us to get to the boiling point. What has been really buzzing over since yesterday? We've been seeing videos on social media, and this has been the talk of the day. The gold and the US dollars that were intercepted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the director just to give us the statement that DEC gave in the morning concerning this same gold and the money that was seized from Kenneth Kaunda International Airport. Director, please give us a clip.
So I want to conclude by asking these questions. Who is going to help us? Who is going to ensure that when somebody steals, they recover that money? Who is going to ensure that we realign our priorities in terms of fighting these grafts? When are we going to stop sensational?
To give you even just a preliminary statement so that people are well informed. As you know, there's so much media now and a lot of misinformation can take place. So it will be short, Professor. I will allow you to ask a few questions and then we get back to work. So as Drug Enforcement Commission, we received information that a chartered aircraft carrying dangerous goods had landed at Kenneth Kaunda International Airport on 13th August 2023 at 19 hours. Acting on this information, ourselves as DC, together with officers from various law enforcement agencies, conducted an operation on Monday 14th August 2023 at Kenneth Kaunda International Airport. The operation, ladies and gentlemen, resulted in a seizure of various items. Perhaps most important to mention is that this particular aircraft was searched by ourselves and other law enforcement officers. We also put in our dogs, as you know, of K9 division here. They went on the aircraft to ensure that we know what was in there. And this is what we seized from the aircraft to start with. A total sum of 5,697,700 United States dollars. 5,697,700 United States dollars. On the same aircraft, we also seized 5 firearms, namely pistols. We also seized 7 magazines. Magazines are those items where you put in the rounds before loading onto a firearm. We also seized 126 rounds of ammunition. In addition to that, we also seized 602 pieces of suspected gold weighing 127.2 kgs. We've also seized equipment that is used for measuring gold. I'm sure it's for verifying whether this is gold or it's not gold. They had that equipment on board. What is important to note here, ladies and gentlemen, is that as regards the suspected gold, we had the Ministry of Mines personnel with us, but they just did a presumptive test, so they will now get down to verify what kind of gold it is, or if it's gold at all. As regards the money, we are certain that these are genuine dollars because the Bank of Zambia came in and they're the ones that counted. And right now, as we speak, just after we finish the verification of the quantities of the money, everything has been taken into the safe custody of the Bank of Zambia. As per procedure, whenever a vessel is carrying illegal substances or goods, when we seize those goods, we also seize the vessel. So in that line, we have seized the aircraft, which was carrying these items that I mentioned. The aircraft is called the Global Express T7-WW, and we have also seized another aircraft. This time, this one belongs to a local airline, whose the make of the aircraft is King Air E90. Now, the reason we have seized this other aircraft is to help us in our investigations. There's some connection that we have seen as we're investigating this particular matter, so we have seized, in short, 2 aircraft. I must mention that in this operation, we have so far detained, not yet arrested, detained 10 suspects, including a Zambian. They are in custody as I speak, and the chances are that the number of people to be detained will rise. As you might appreciate, this operation was just last night leading into this morning, so a lot is still being done. So that is where we are. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Derek.
Now we need to be sure that 100. Yeah, 100. Una double number 50, ka?
How many sabu bundles? Yeah, 5. That one now.
Okay, so as long as you know it's 100, then you can count the bundles.
I will rely on your bid, right? My point is
So I don't know. If your phone rings, I'll cancel the whole press briefing. So I want people's phones to behave. Are we ready? Okay, good afternoon. I wanted... You cannot get somebody walking on the streets and shouts that there's a lion there, and you believe it just like that when you have an authority around it. So Membe is not an authority, he's not a president, he's not a leader. He can shout whichever way he wants to shout because he wants to gain political mileage. This is where you will see that these are not worthy to be leaders. Because a leader gets something, like I was explaining to you, you get something, you digest it, you investigate so that you look like you know what you're talking about. Not where you just go out there and begin speaking. They want to make this government look bad. But you are lying through your teeth. Bring evidence. How can somebody just shout that this was stolen? It is the same Membe and others who were saying the Sujilite in Kabwe has been stolen. Let's go to Kabwe. You go and check with the police there if really it has been stolen. So really, we call you as government to give you the position. This is the correct position.
Having a bit of technical challenges there. However, we continue. We had the statement from BBC there of much talked about gold, or supposed or alleged gold, and the $5.6 million. Himba, I'll start with you, Himba, as usual. What do you make of this incident?
CJ. Nangazi jandrama sungaende wapemba wakupasako. Is and drama. Anyway, however, that aside, believe me, that situation is a very serious situation. It's something that as a country we need to get worried about it, and we really have to like sit down and think. Oh, the heads needs to roll of the leaders. If such deals are happening in our country, then because I'm sure it's one of those that has just gone wrong. You see what I mean? But basically, I think at the time when the anti-corruption was giving us that report, because I'm reliably informed that Apamanja Yachinja, I don't know to what, but it has changed by evening. Anyway, if we follow what the anti-corruption, they said suspected to be gold. So that was a clear indication that at that particular time, they were not sure if that was gold or not. They said the people from the mines, they're going to collect it and they're going to examine it further to find out if that was gold. Literally, the information was basically clear and straightforward. He clearly said at that particular time, they were not sure, they just suspected. But I think where I blame the commissioner, they shouldn't have really like alarmed the way they've alarmed, like, if it was shivat ni godilia. So no, but for it to be rubbed from our heads that nifimbi, I'm glad that the dollars, they've not changed into kwachas, they are still dollars. That is really fine. But at the end of the day, we should be worried that such things are happening in our country. If such things are happening in our country, because I'm sure that is one of just deal yakangiwa. Nanga mapita madiu nyangati. And if such amount, because now it's very difficult really to say what it is about that scandal, because we don't know if that mineral, whatever it is, it was from our country or it is from somewhere else. We don't know, because it's also possible that maybe it was just from somewhere else. Mwatu yenzo pita che, or yenzo choka mwatu, or yenzo bwela mwatu. So we literally don't know where it is and the whole thing. But if such deals are happening, we have such organized crimes in our country. Iliko bad. The Nivambili Ziko, which we've lost as a nation and as the Zambian people. We are so happy. Basically, personally, I'm happy about the transparent which is happening, because such a thing, Sivenzo chitika, stands of you on a manje TV on, and we are able to follow and we are able to make noise. Manje ka ingenga vindu vaso vachitika, wama tibisa mazina, timafunano odziwa people who are involved. Up to now, no name has been attached to that. It's like na hivi ambonga fru ni mushroom, ya jama nyumba enze mushroom, yema nabu wati uza manje, utini, ya nbene ni haba. So we basically want to know who is involved.
It's very
I mean,
sure.
okay, we leave it probably because of the law, and I mean, my human rights, they are not yet sure. But it's really a sad situation, and this shows how do we expect, if those minerals are coming from our country, how do we expect our economy to do very well? How do we expect our economy to develop if such minerals are going outside our country? If such amount of money, $5 million, that's a lot of money, a lot of money, which I mean, if we're to inject it in our economy, how even to balance for us as a nation. So if a person can have such amount of money, it means a lot. And if people can have such amount of money just like to play around, it's a sad situation, CJ. But ningafune vanitengerako kabanji vanipasa
Unveil
kwa
the issues that I want to address with you. So the Mumba issue, we are on it.
CJ, I rest my case.
Okay, thank you, Himba. Sorry for that interruption. Let me just bring in Mukelabai to have his input before we have a look at what the mines minister said over the alleged gold. Mukelabai.
Well, thank you so much. Usually, when you don't have information about an activity or any undertaking, it is imperative to not make statements that may jeopardize your findings. So many Zambians, I want to advise my fellow Zambians that let us allow the authorities to finish their investigations and furnish us with more information over this issue of the seizure of that aircraft and the seizure of that amount of money, the amount of monies that they seized, and the guns, the bullets, and the gold purported to be gold, because what we saw, we think it's gold. So that's the problem. That's the problem of reporting on things that you have no facts. So here we are, you are even arguing, and we are making a lot of innuendos over the same. Some of the political leaders, they are coming up with a lot of innuendos, and now already, like I read some statement where one of the opposition leader is insinuating, is bringing State House already into this scandal, that one of the security personnel of the current regime from State House is connected was actually on the scene and left the scene. So that is also unsubstantiated allegations or innuendos. And we know the reason why someone is coming up with such kind of allegations, because they forever will never appreciate what this current government is doing. Now, here's an ironic situation that I want to maybe open an eye to those leaders or those who are making innuendos that probably this government is involved. That's what they are trying to say. Here's the government that has seized. Instead of the people of Zambia praising or appreciating and thanking the Drug Enforcement Commission for the good job well done, for having even had seized and arrested, or rather detained, the people over this issue, here we are now trying to politicize and want to point fingers. The very government that is arresting people, that has seized, is being accused of being behind the same. How ironic and how stupid can you think they are? So Zambians, especially you oppositions, I want to tell you that you should mind to, you should learn to keep certain things to yourselves. Wait until you have official information. We have already been told by the Drug Enforcement Commission that they have arrested or they have apprehended these suspects and they're in custody and they're investigating. So, where are we getting information? Other information, extra information that these individuals, the individuals who are involved, are part of this, are part of that, are part of this, then we are
Thank
not
you,
being
Mukelabai.
truthful. So,
Yes.
my concern is that we should learn to wait until we have facts before we start spreading issues. Let us wait. This case, it has landed on our legs, and we have to wait as a country and see to it that investigations are done. And when we have proper information and proper facts, the very government will come back to us and tell us the truth of what transpired.
Thank you very much from Mukelabai. Wiseman, I want you to dig into this issue as well before we listen to what the minister had to say over the nature of the purported gold or what they seized. Yes, Wiseman.
Thank you very much, CJ. Thank you, Mukelabai, and thank you, Himba. I think mine is only three things, quick ones. Number one, I think it is high time they start removing some of the people whom were related to the former regime in offices, because I'm shocked, CJ. It is the first time in life where I've seen at the airport they have got what they call holding cell, where if they find anything mysterious, they take it to that private room. That's where they open everything and then they give a report. Today is the first time I have seen there on the public outside open the bags, start counting money, and the cameras have been captured. Who was capturing? No one seems to care. I'm shocked. I don't know why that thing happened. It is my first time where such kind of, that's why you have now have two different amount of money mentioned from the first update and the second update. Why? Because you allow these propagandist opposition and their own officers who are in offices to start running behind our minds. So for me, I think it's high time the president and its appointed leaders, they should start removing such kind of people in offices and put the right people in offices. Secondly, I think I'll concur what Mr. Mukelabai has said. We wait for the investigation team to finish and then give an update. When they give an update, then we see the way forward, because there's no way the country which is producing gold can receive a fake gold. How possible is that? So when you see the statement again, they are contradicting. It is us who are producing gold, who are supposed to gonga Malawi, who don't produce gold. They say Malawi, that is gold. So when the country producing gold can receive fake gold and money on it, where is the logic? So all those are the questions running in our mind. And lastly, on the same, these opposition leaders, sometimes we are making them to speak, because it was not what a lifetime for the minister to respond and lavish what people have seen. The best thing they could have done is to do what the president has done. Just most of the time when they hear something happening, give it a space, then prove it at a later stage. So for me, let's wait for the investigative wing to finish. When they finish, hopefully we can talk about it and bring it out. And even what Himba has said, CJ, is true. These things were happening previously, but because illegality was normal. We never used to see these things. And maybe because as they were trying to make the road smooth, they had opened up for the Zambian people to be eating. That's why we never used to see these things. But nowadays we are seeing them because of two sides, regardless of where you're standing. One, the government is open and is telling the people what is happening, and there is no illegality in it. Two, they have closed their wounds without giving it a breathing space. So now people want to eat. As a result, they are forced to enter in the same old illegality, and as a result, they are being owed on. So, as the ministers, they are trying to make the road smooth. Let them allow indigenous Zambians, more especially UPND members, to start eating slowly as we are waiting for the road to be clean, so that one or two they can gain something. Because CJ, we were voted for 5 years, not for 10 years. 2 years gone, 3 years remaining. So if the road will be smoothed after 5 years, who knows who will be in power? So for me, we are making our own problems. Thank you very much.
CJ, just to add on,
Thank you, Wiseman.
may I take this opportunity also to add, to mention that, when they're having these press briefings, why can't they bring all the parties who are involved in this operation? This one, they talk about their part. This one talks about their part. This one talks about their part. As a team, then abakubakamba beka, abakubakamba beka, abakubakamba beka. So basically, if they give one press briefing vakapokola vakamba va security vamaini vakamba va mining va Bank of Zambia vakamba va ndrama, we'll be able to get that tatenga kutambo to fill in the pieces uti machani. So that's just my opinion anyway. I rest my case.
Okay, thank you. Let's listen to what Honorable Kavuswe
Mines
said
is in charge of
concerning the nature.
mining activities, minerals development. That is our charge. So when we hear an activity where something that concerns us is mentioned, such as gold, of course we raise our eyebrows and we begin to want to understand what is going on. Fortunately enough, when the story broke out that there is some gold somewhere that has been found, our ministry was contacted immediately by the Drug Enforcement Commission and other security wings, and we had a team from Geological Survey Department, which was urgently constituted, consisting of the chief geologist, a senior metallurgist, a senior chemist, and a gemologist, and were dispatched to the Lusaka International Airport around 16 hours yesterday. When the team arrived out at the airport, they were there up to about 15 hours. When they reached there were basically 4 plastic boxes that contained the alleged gold. After analyzing the bars, and a comprehensive analysis was actually done in our labs, and what they found in terms of content was that those bars contained copper in the range of 58 to 61%, and zinc in the range of, I think, 38 to 41%, and trace amounts of tin were also found, osmium and nickel, each of which were less than 0.8%. The total number of those pieces that were contained in the 4 boxes were 602, with a mass of 127.28 kgs. So a report was done. So I've told you the content. Naturally, you are going to conclude that the content is not what has been reported. The content is what has been analyzed in those bars. So as a ministry, our role ends there to just ascertain the content of what was found. A report has been done, sent to Drug Enforcement Commission, who are doing the investigations. Our role ends there. Now, I want to urge our people, especially politicians, and this is why certain people are not fit to be leaders. Because when you are a leader, when you hear something, don't rush to the media to go and open your mouth and just begin to talk anyhow. What a leader does and what a person who is worth to be a leader should do is to get the facts first. Before you say anything, get your facts. Because if you are Mukelabai, you want to be president of the country, or Fred Membe, you want to be president of a country, or Kampiongo, or whoever in PF, when you hear something, as a leader, make sure you analyze, because you are going to make a decision that will put your own country on fire. Yet you realize that actually, what we are talking about is not what it is. So you don't rush quickly to begin to condemn here and there. For me, the first thing I'll do
Okay, so there we have Honorable Kabuswe stating that that is not gold, but zinc and whatever other metal or material that is. Now, let me start with Wiseman this time around. From the statement that DEC gave, they said they found instruments for measuring gold on the aircraft. So there were instruments for measuring and ascertaining gold. Meanwhile, they are carrying copper. Wiseman.
You know, some of these issues, CJ, tiyafunya pamupashi. So I don't know. Because honestly speaking, CJ, that aircraft, according to the deck report, it had guns in guns in it. Are you telling me those people carried guns to secure copper and zinc?
Copper.
In Zambia, we have got copper. Copper is all over. Zinc, zinc and West. In Kawe, they even told us to avoid lead. Zinc is all over. So if some people can put zinc and copper in a private jet to bring where they are embedded, I don't know. I think the best thing is to declare interest in this statement of the minister and excuse myself for now. I don't want to be a culprit. Let me wear the president too for now. This one.
Thank you, Wiseman.
Let me leave Mukelabai and go Himba.
Those guns were for the dollars, protecting the dollars, not the copper.
No, CJ, did that plane bloat the dollars or bloat the zinc? We don't know. And I mean, which lab did they use it so quickly
to measure immediately and find it was zinc and copper, and it was painted both in gold colors. What was the logic there?
We have metallurgists. UNZA has produced qualified people, and they put up a team quickly.
No, for now,
Now, during the
I
brief,
mean
let me also just add this. During the brief by DEC, they mentioned that the itinerary of that plane was that from Egypt they come to Zambia, and they were here to do some business transactions, and then from here they go back to Egypt. That is the itinerary of that same airplane.
So CJ, they were coming from Egypt na ndrama na minerals kuacha Zambia bafita business ya Bulama.
Yongani Ndarama, see very clear. According to the DEC, Wakambati, they found that money on the plane. So I must clarify whether that money and those materials or the purported gold or copper was actually loaded on the plane. Though there are some reports, should be diggers. There are some reports, the initial reports that even said what they actually seized initially was something 11,000. That are insinuating or alluding that those bags were being loaded on the plane. That's when authorities were alerted. But as regards the facts, we are still waiting for facts from DEC as to whether those bags were actually loaded on the plane right at the airport from here, Zambia, or those items or articles came into the country whilst on the plane. Okay, let me bring in Mukelabai.
Thank you so much, CJ. Wow. Zambians, we need to learn to understand and respect the authorities. And I know that we have been lied for so many years, for so many times. And they say once bitten, twice shy. But when a government official come in the front of the TV or screen and holds a press briefing, and the very government official, a minister for that matter, cabinet minister, gives the position of the government over the seized items. Who are we? Who are we to speak otherwise? They are the ones who have the custody of those items. As Honorable Kabuswe put up his statement, and he claimed that from his ministerial position, from his department as mines, they were given the task to investigate on the copper, the gold that was seized, purported gold. And they have, through their representatives and those professionals, they have a conclusion. They have come up with a conclusion, and they tested and found out that that was not gold. Who are we to dispute that? And if we do, why? Because in the first place, sorry, Himba, in the first place, the contraband that they have seized, that's a criminal. You can find that this is an alleged criminal transaction. And that is why the government, under the DEC, seized that those properties. You know, criminals have many ways of doing business. That could have been a deal I won't be surprised if they say that money that was seized is either real money or counterfeit.
No, it's
Because
real money. We will not
yes,
agree if they tell us counterfeit. What was Bank of Zambia doing there if it is counterfeit?
yes, but the
And
report,
actually, sorry,
the report,
Mukelabai,
the report
on that,
from the report
Mukelabai,
from the Bank of Zambia is that they have ascertained that that is true US American dollar. It's real.
exactly.
So
So
they
now,
shouldn't change.
here we are arguing or doubting, even laughing, when the Minister of Mines tells the country that, guess what? It's not gold.
Gold.
We thought it was gold, but it is actually zinc and what?
And
Copper.
So the
Yes.
ija machine yewe bapeza pandeke ya ima testing a gold yewe bapeza pandeke
But
ima testing a
bakabwala na mami, that's why bamagulisa na ma fake diamonds na ma fake tan, counterfeits things, That
No,
is
but
how
the minister,
probably.
there's a percentage of gold in that. There's a percentage of gold. They're saying, is it 51?
That's copper.
Oh, copper, yeah.
Yes. And the other thing is, that's why I always say, like I said in my preamble, that when we don't have full information, let us not speculate so much, because we may end up misleading ourselves as a country, as a nation.
We declare interest. Me and Wiseman declare interest.
So let us wait. Let us wait until the proper report is being reported, because right now they have seized and the issue is under investigation. We are even doubting the space time being done for them to ascertain what those are true diamonds, or gold or copper. Because we know the government bureaucracy, that when you just take a teaspoon or just take a small sample of something, it takes weeks or months. So the question is, how special was this case that suddenly, within seconds or few days, not days, but one day?
It is a high-profile case and it has public interest.
Probably the bank, they've already ascertained it's real money. The mines, the mine, how you call those experts? They have already
Experts.
concluded that that is copper, not gold. What next? Guns, not guns? Should we also hear from the police whether those guns and bullets were real? So
No, the
those are
next thing
issues.
you hear that those are clean things, they've been given back to the owner.
But let us trust the authority for now. Let us trust what we are being told, and let's get that as our gospel truth. Let us not insinuate. Let us not speculate. Let us just wait for the facts. And once we have the facts, then we can speculate, and then we can draw our own conclusions. For now, I want to appeal to these members of the public, together with the opposition and the ruling parties, to please wait until we have proper information and facts on the ground. That's when we can start firing questions to the government that have been investigated. That's when we can even doubt ma test results yamene batipasa lero. So tieni tichite bwanji tilindile boma itipase legitimate position over this issue.
So now, there's this trend of information getting on social media quickly before it is actually or even officially put there. I heard during the DEC briefing, in his introductory remarks, he was saying these days information goes fast. Now, would that be a reason why they gave that statement before having all the facts in place? Because there are a lot of questions that are coming up. For an aircraft to land in a country, there is clearance that is given, and there are authorities that know and have information regarding that aircraft that is allowed to land here. Then there are questions around whether those people on that plane had documentation to have those the purported gold or even the money. That information has not been given. All that we can remain with is the statement where he says those are suspects, okay, that have just been detained. So meaning this issue can go any direction, and it's still open to a lot of speculation. Now, should we as a nation be alarmed? Okay, should this be a cause for alarm, looking at how this situation has cropped up, and even the way we've seen already that opposition leaders and other people are bringing out statements regarding the same issue, where there's a person connected to State House who stole part of money, who bolted with money. Now we're having all these stories coming around. Himba, I hope that does not confront your your interest. I hope that does not conflict with your interest. Please, as we are winding up, I want you to factor in that even as you give your closing remarks.
CJ, you know what? When you talk about my politics, some country, what? Right now, I'm still searching which political figure you can point out and say that is my role model or that is my future leader. Because now most of the political leaders we have in our country, especially from the opposition right now, they're just talking for themselves, for their stomach. They're not even thinking of the country at large. Because if you are a leader who is thinking of the country at large, one thing you have to put into consideration is what I'm going to say. How is it? What impact is it going to carry on the Zambian people? What I'm going to say, how is it going to like alarm the nation? So if you are looking at being the future leader, that's what we want to hear. And that's how we want them to react. Talema vakudewi nikawalala. Anankara Richi Bwanji. If these people are pointing at thieves, can they go behind bars? Can you report them to the police? CJ is a thief. Drama so here is evidence. Can you investigate this guy and let the law visit? We are tired of this politics of character assassination. We are politicians. We don't even listen to you, just waste your time. Because we are not here to waste our time for somebody who is busy manipulating, intoxicating our mind when we want to hear real issues here. We don't even have a political leader. Oh, this is an opposition leader. Who's going to get you glued to the TV, or is it to your phone? We don't have. We even know what is going to say next. So basically, CJ, we don't have leaders at the moment. Maybe we bakali mu background bakali byochoka ababetili nabo aba tribalist ma propagandist. We don't have them, and we don't have interest for them. We are looking for proper leaders to rule our country and to rule our generation. Even now, the current leaders are, in the current government, their time is now. But we are thinking of tomorrow. We are not even talking about them now. They are now in power. So we are looking about tomorrow. If we talk about tomorrow, for me as at now, no one really would groom me to the TV and start. I want somebody who's going to bring policies, who's going to bring issue-based debates, not character assassination. CJ Kulibe. Hello, back mind, tapapata. As I'm concluding, please, mind, can we do something? Pasan ma Zambians, my license. There are many people who wants to go into mining. There are many young people who want to venture into mining. Nanga kutenga license mu Zambia ku mining ni kushita bwanji. This was part of the campaign promise on the copper belt, I remember. Can you please deliver this peacefully? Tileke losing abantu ku copper belt umuma mines and other mines. Tileke bantu kumangiwa. And we want the country to start benefiting. Can you make it easier for the indigenous Zambians to acquire these licenses? I rest my case.
Thank you very much, Himba. I'll move to Mukelabai, your concluding remarks, and as you are concluding, as a nation, aren't we also putting ourselves at a risk of, in terms of mindset here, and whereby then you easily conclude and say this has to be corruption, this has to be illegal, because I'd say that's kind of a thing that seems to be going around. Mukelabai, your concluding remarks, then maybe you could also touch on that quickly.
Thank you so much.
Before Mukelabai comes, maybe you can also answer me this as well. Nanga ijaiva matuza pongena mo airport ufuniko carrying like 5,000 pound. Isevenza check my private people our machani there at cash, the cash you can carry on you. Isevenza check kuli my private like if nobody they can carry my suitcase kungena na cash money like that into the country. They're allowed to check in and out with such amount of money. I just want to know.
Okay, Himba, you want a response from me on that one, or from the other panelists? Okay, let me throw it to the other panelists.
Anybody, I want anybody, even our viewers, they are out there. Because for that drama, Zambia, Sembe Zangena Bwanji mu country, Sembe Bachita Bwanji check in. Are they allowed? Maybe I don't know what the law says. As such people, are they allowed to go in with cash like that? I don't know. I want to know.
Okay, Mukelabai, quickly, I think you can factor in that one. I will throw in a word or two as well.
No, actually, we have laws in Zambia. When it comes to, in every country, they have laws that governs how much you are supposed to carry to bring into a country, except for this other country where, is it the Swiss, where most people take their monies because they have an open policy when it comes to transaction monies. They just you can carry any amount into their country. But the rest of the countries, especially, I mean, and Zambia is one of them, we have restrictions with the amount of money that you're supposed to carry when you are coming into the country. Remember Michael Chilufya-Sata at one point was denied to come. They confiscated the money that he wanted to bring to carry from the was it from the UK or from where? Is it Taiwan? He wanted to bring some dollars, a suitcase of money, but they intercepted him and they grabbed that money. So you cannot come out. That's why the Drug Enforcement Commission, they have decided to seize those items, and because of the same colossal sum of money that is unexplainable. They have not explained. They don't have the authority. They are not in banking, and they didn't have proper documentation even to explain how they came in possession of that amount, those monies. So it is illegal, and especially when it comes to also our laws that is relating to money laundering. So everywhere in most of the countries, they don't allow such huge amount of money to go around. So I don't know. That's what I can say over that one. Should I conclude now?
Please conclude within a minute, please.
Over the whole issue that we've talked about today?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. No, my fellow Zambians, like I said earlier, it is better to keep quiet when we don't know the facts. Let's wait until something is done, until we have proper facts, that's when we can open up to social media, and that's when we can open up to everyone and talk about it, or even debate about the issue. Right now, we are busy misleading either ourselves, we are busy raising our BPs for nothing, and yet we'll be surprised because we don't know to what is in the case. We don't even know how this money came to our country, who is involved. We have no clue. We are just merely speculating. That's why there was some advice from various people, especially to the oppositions, that please learn to swallow the pill, the chill pill. Chill down, wait, get information. And if you know something about this case, then come to the world, to the public with information, or go to the investigative authority wings and give them that information than rushing to social media. Because when you do rush to social media, then we shall simply call you a fluke, call you a liar, call you not serious. So like my colleague here put it, to say, currently we seem to have no proper opposition that are opposing this government, that is putting this government on their toes. We don't have, because there's so much mediocrity, there's so much pettiness, and the only individual that I see myself within the opposition that ought to do things differently is that gentleman, young, charismatic, and very viable, a hardworking, result-oriented member of parliament, one Sunday Chanda, Honorable Sunday Chanda. To me, that gentleman should have been the leaders of opposition. That gentleman should be, his name should actually be on the ballot box to next year as either the presidential candidate for either the PF. He is matured. He is doing the right
Thank
thing.
you.
He is not pertinent. He is a serious gentleman and a God-fearing and very respectable gentleman.
Thank
And
you
we
very
love
much,
people like that, but not these chaps who are. May I
Thank you
finish?
very much.
Don't cut me.
Yeah, you are now campaigning.
No, I'm not campaigning, but I'm just being honest. And I don't want to talk about these people who are busy trying to demonize the West and and embrace.
Please, under 30 seconds, so that we can also give chance to
Yes.
Wiseman.
Yes.
Exceeded in time, please.
The one who are busy demonizing the West, meanwhile you are driving their car in a Hummer. You are sitting in a Hummer made in America, and you want to demonize them. We are talking about democracy, freedom of expression, and you are enjoying those things because of America having introduced or being senior in terms of democracy. We cannot emulate. We can only emulate, but we cannot do what they are doing. We have our own ways of running our country. So we love our country democratically, and Zambia is one of the best so far in Africa, showing or leading to be a democratic dispensation country, and which is thriving. And we want to salute President Lungu, for being democratic. I want to salute late President Banda for being democratic. So we are a thriving nation. So not communist, I'm a socialist.
Thank you, Mukelabai. I have to interrupt you there. Please, Wiseman, give your concluding remarks under a minute.
Thank you, CJ. Thank you, Madam Himba and Mukelabai. I think mine answering your question, I think currently we don't have any leader who we can say is promising to change anything apart from the current leadership we have right now. The opposition, I think we don't have. And we're just downgrading our country, CJ. When issues like this one comes and everyone in the country they're talking about it. I mean, we have seen great countries who deals with that money is it's an amount of money where only one person, in fact, a small businessman in America can have such kind of a money, which Zambia is being shaken about it. We don't talk about that gold. You have seen tycoons in Dubai who moves with a lot of golds, big bars, not those small bars. And it's normal that side. Why is it that in Zambia it's now something like it's a dream? So for me, it's because of such kind of politicians we have, those old folks who are from old schools who are trying to make us understand that that's a big issue. The only thing I can advise as I'm concluding is that let this government introduce the mining subject in schools, so that the way we see teachers when they go to college, when they finish, they have been given the license for teaching. Let even mine interested people go for school for mining. Once they finish, given the license for mining, no need of waiting for someone to get coordinate and everything, or the mine minister to say this, it has smoothened the road for you to start mining. No, as long as you have gone to school, you have got that license as Zambian, go in and start mining. From there, you're going to see that we are going to benefit as Zambians, and the country will never suffer economic wise. Otherwise, let's leave everything in Akainde Ichlema's hands, as I'm in his shoes, to be quiet on this issue and declare interest. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Wiseman. Thank you, Mukelabai. Thank you, Himba. Himba, on the issue you raised concerning the amounts, anyway, there are different provisions of the law where people are expected to declare what they are coming in, and authorities give guidance in line with what they've declared and what the thresholds are in terms of the country. Just like Mukelabai said, there are laws regarding the amounts of money that are acceptable to come into the country, and then there are different arrangements that they have with investors. But in this case, it's open to speculation. Viewers, this has been Let's Talk Politics. Thank you for being part of tonight's broadcast. Like we said when starting, it is an open discussion, and we send out invitations to different political parties to make representation so that we could have these different issues discussed from different angles and possibly come together and have a civilized, productive, issue-based discussion and debate on this platform. We encourage you to make sure that you like and follow our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's Ubuntu Channel Zambia. YouTube, it's Ubuntu Channel. Twitter, currently X, it's Ubuntu Channel. And be glued to this channel so that you don't get to miss any of the exciting programs that we have. Every day we have something coming up at 20 hours. So make sure that you're following us and you like our page and get glued to the content and the news, authentic news that we give right here on Ubuntu Channel. Well, from me and the team that we've had today and everyone who's participated on this program, as well as our producer who's been Emmanuel Nkunika, want to say thank you and make a date for next week's Let's Talk Politics. We say good night and God bless.